Andrei Kuzmenko signing a 2-year deal. This has basically cemented the fact that the Canucks, without a doubt, will be parting ways with Bo Horvat. With that being said, there's technically a couple other options. Trading JT Miller, trading Brock Besser, somehow unloading Tyler Myers. But given all the trade rumors, and the fact that trading Bo Horvat at this point is the only sensible option, where there's smoke, there's fire. And man, there's a lot of smoke. But here's the thing. The Vancouver Canucks have dug themselves in a deep hole. The reason that they have to trade Bo Horvat, their captain, is a self-inflicted wound. But on the positive side, this man has exploded offensively this season and has the trade potential to finally put the Vancouver Canucks back in the right direction. So for God's sake, Vancouver management, I know this is a tough decision, but do what's right and get a haul for the guy. But first, what is the trade value of Bo Horvat? Because this is a fascinating situation. Bo Horvat this season has been one of the top goal scorers in the NHL. As it stands, Bo Horvat has 31 goals in 48 games. He is on pace for 53 goals. By no means is Horvat going to get the return of a 50-goal scorer, but in the same breath, it actually isn't much of a surprise he is performing to this degree. Bo Horvat, other than the pandemic-shortened season, where he would have been on pace for 30 goals, has put up 4 30-goal seasons in the past 5 years. So the team trading for Horvat isn't trading for a guy who is just hot in his contract season. Horvat has a proven record as a 30-goal scorer. This is where it gets interesting. This season, Bo Horvat makes $5.5 million. This summer, he is a free agent. But here's the thing, the Vancouver Canucks could theoretically retain 50% of his salary. Any team who's pushing to win a cup could acquire a 50-goal scorer who is making $2.75 million. That is an absurdly good contract, even if they're just viewing Horvat as a rental. Personally, I don't think there's a more valuable player on the market. Now, factor in that Horvat is a top face-off taker in the NHL. He is a proven leader. Look at the numbers and that is one thing, but there is immense value in acquiring a guy with great leadership abilities. However, none of this compares to what is, in my opinion, Bo Horvat's greatest quality. The man is clutch. Do you know why Horvat was drafted 9th overall in 2013? He scored 16 goals in 21 playoff games, including one of the most clutch goals in CHL history. Unfortunately, Horvat and the Canucks have had next to no playoff success since he joined the team. However, back in 2020, Horvat would once again prove his clutch playoff ability.
Here goes Horvat again. What a move by Horvat!
As he would score 10 goals in 17 playoff games, which included this goal, where Bo Horvat would score this beautiful shorthanded goal, which would lead the Canucks to upset the defending Stanley Cup champions. So not only is Horvat a potential $2.75 million steal for any team wanting to win the cup, but the man can score big goals in big moments. Now, being that I am a Canucks fan, I probably sound like a massive homer this entire video, but the proof is in the pudding. And if we take a look at prior trades, we'll get a better idea of what Horvat's return may be. In March of 2021, the New York Rangers would acquire Andrew Kopp in a rental deal, and in that trade they would send Winnipeg a conditional first, the condition being that the first round pick would turn into a second if the Rangers didn't make it past the second round, which they did. And being that Kopp hasn't surpassed 15 goals in his career, you would have to assume that the Horvat return would be more than a first and a blue chip prospect. That is, of course, if the Canucks management doesn't screw this one up, and they probably will. In April of 2021, the Toronto Maple Leafs would trade a first and a fourth for Nick Foligno. Honestly, I don't even think I need to say much more, and I could keep listing trades, but I think you get the point. In the past, teams have traded multiple first-round picks for a 15-20-goal scorer who were rentals. And Horvat's situation is interesting because he could easily be a phenomenal rental player for any contending team. Could you imagine if the Bruins added a guy like Horvat? So if the Canucks don't receive at least the value of 2 first-round picks and a young player or, blue chip prospect, they got robbed. Because there's also a reality where the team trading for Horvat signs him long-term the next season. The New York Islanders seem like the perfect landing spot, as they are struggling offensively this season. In the last 11 games, their power play has gone 1 for 27, or a nice 3.7%, which of course ranks last in the entire league. The Islanders have the trade assets, the picks, and the salary to keep Horvat for the future. The question is, where do you see Horvat going?